And now we have more breaking news. A powerful and deadly storm is barreling across the West Coast. And this so-called bomb cyclone is dumping torrential rain, packing powerful winds, and prompting flash flooding as well as evacuations. Mudslides are also wreaking havoc on California highways. Meanwhile, cleanup is underway in parts of the Midwest as strong storms also ripped through Missouri, downing trees and knocking out power. Millions of people are in the path of what forecasters are calling one of the most powerful storms ever recorded off the West Coast. NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns is standing by, timing this all out for us. But let's go ahead and begin with NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda, who's live for us right now in San Francisco. Emily, what is the situation where you are right now? What are you seeing?
Hey there, Morgan. Well, after 48 hours of being pummeled by relentless rains, you can see residents here in the San Francisco area are beginning to emerge from their homes as that system pushes southward towards the Los Angeles area. But to give you an idea of the intensity and the brunt of the storm, what it was like here, take a look at these rainfall totals for the Northern California area. You're going to see double digits, 16 inches of rain in some areas over a 2-day span. Some of these areas, this is more rain they've seen than all year. To put this in perspective for you, Sacramento hasn't seen a drop of rain since March. So it's long-awaited rain, but certainly packing a punch with it. Another thing residents have had to contend with is landslides. We see a lot of wildfires play out throughout the year in California, and what happens is they leave burn scars, essentially carving out pathways for debris, rocks to easily flow through there when we get immense amounts of rain. And we saw that play out near some highways in Northern California, just rocks crashing down onto those highways. And it's part of the reason why Santa Barbara County residents are actually issued and warned to shelter in place at this time right now, because as I mentioned before, the system is moving southward, and there was recently a fire there, the Alisal fire. So then, because they are near a burn scar, they're at risk for possible debris flows. And that's something that, you know, we're hearing from residents a lot about who are living near these burn scars. In Santa Cruz Mountains, for instance, they had to evacuate last year because of fires, and now they're having to evacuate this year because of rain. Take a listen.
Really not in a position to be paying for hotels, and so we decided to stay. Most of the people that I know in the community and on my Nextdoor app, they were staying as well, and so, you know, it's scary. You kind of just have to flip a coin and take the risk.
And Morgan, unfortunately, the bomb cyclone turning deadly overnight outside of Seattle. 2 people killed. They were inside of their vehicle when a tree came crashing down. Morgan. Wow,
Emily Ikeda there on the ground for us in San Francisco. Emily, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and bring in NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns right now. Bill, we've been hearing this about the so-called bomb cyclone. What does that exactly mean, and when are we expected to see its effects?
Yeah, bomb cyclone is kind of like one of those catchy terms. You're like, oh, wait, what was that, bomb cyclone? It's actually something that's been known. It's happened for a long time. It's just in the last couple of years, kind of news outlets and media are kind of jumping on it. All it means, it's a rapidly strengthening storm. And there's a technical definition. If you want to get really into the weeds, it has to increase by 1 millibar an hour for 24 straight hours. So in 24 hours later, it has to be 24 millibars stronger or lower if you're measuring the pressure. So that's all it means. A lot of hurricanes do it. A lot of nor'easters do it. And in this case, this huge storm that you see looks like a cinnamon bun off the coastline of Oregon and Washington, this storm easily did it too. And this was the strongest storm ever measured in this portion of the northeastern portions of the Pacific. So as far as the storm went, we talked about the San Francisco rain, the wettest October day ever. Sacramento had their wettest 24-hour day ever recorded. And their records go back to the late 1800s. So to put that in some kind of perspective, it was the wettest day that they had in over 51,000 days of measuring the rain. So it gives you an idea that this wasn't just your average rain event. This was very historic. It has now shifted southwards and it's weakening. It's still snowing hard. I saw one report, Tahoe was already had 41 inches of snow at the top of their mountain. So there's definitely benefits. In Lake Oroville, that's the big dam that's near the Sacramento area, that has risen 20 feet. The dam, the height of the lake has risen 20 feet since the beginning of this storm. So we still have one flash flood warning. There's still flash flood watches up in the mountains, but things are beginning to improve. So now let's go to the east, and this will be another bomb cyclone, it looks like. We have two storms. The one that produced the tornadoes in Missouri last night, that's moving through the Ohio Valley. Another storm is coming up the southeastern coast. These two are going to combine, and we're going to get quite a weather event in the next 24 hours in New England. So today we're going to deal with isolated severe weather, North Carolina, Virginia, portions of West Virginia. Isolated large hail damaging wind, maybe a tornado or two. And then tonight and tomorrow, it is going to pour. The airports and all the roads are going to be a mess. This will be the most significant rainfall in the New York City area since Hurricane Ida. We're talking the possibility of 4 to 6 inches of rain in a short period of time. We could get very heavy rain during the morning commute Tuesday morning. So if there's going to be any dramatic pictures, that's when it's going to happen. Rainfall totals will be very high from New York to Boston out of this. And specifically looking at Cape Cod, Providence, Boston areas, this is the most vulnerable for winds. We have high wind watches that are up, and we're expecting wind gusts that could be anywhere above 50 to 60 miles per hour, Morgan. So I wouldn't doubt if we get some gusts, maybe even up to 70 miles per hour on Cape Cod, and that could mean isolated power outages. And a lot of those beautiful leaves that have now finally turned, bye-bye. They're going to be all blown away.
Bye-bye. Wow. All right. Bill Cairns, a lot coming up for us there. Bill, thank you as always.
Yes.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.